I think when you talk about the Buddha nature, basically, I think you have to understand that the the way we are, the way everybody is not really different from what a fully enlightened being is, or in another word, completely pure being and completely unpure being is basically the same. Only difference is that one recognizes what he is or who he is, and another doesn't recognize what he is or who he is, and that's the difference. Then if you look at, like especially from the Buddhist point of view, the first and most, if you go back to the beginning, the question Buddha asked was, is there a possibility to become free from all kind of problems and sufferings and pain? And then he saw that there are so many the difficulties and problems and sufferings that you cannot really completely get rid of. He was supposed to, he was predicted to be able to become one of the most, greatest emperor. But he saw that even if he became the greatest emperor, the most powerful one, there are lots of things he could not do, or nothing could be done about. So therefore, then he thought, what can we do? Is there no hope for the human beings to free ourselves from our problems and sufferings, or is there another approach? That's why he went away to search another way, and that's how what we call his enlightenment is to find that solution. And that solution was that we cannot completely get rid of all the things that is not good, or that can be problematic, or that would cause problems for us. If we can make something get rid of, and then it will come again, and all these kind of things. Only way that we can do something is that we can transform ourselves. We can change our own way of experiencing things. And if I can change my way of experiencing myself, then that would change my way of experiencing, and therefore I could free myself from all the problems. And that's what we call the, salvation or freedom or nirvana or whatever you call it. And there, the reason why is that there's a possibility, that possibility to transform. Is that possibility only for some people, or is that possibility for everybody? So when we talk about the Buddha nature, then it's to indicate that possibility is for everybody. It's not reserved for some people, or some kinds of species or anything like that, but that is for everybody. So that's, I think, the basic concept of Buddha nature. And I think in Buddhism, although the word Buddha nature or Tathagata Garbha was not mentioned in the first teachings of Buddha, but it's kind of there in a unexpressed way, unspecific way, like in many different levels of teachings of Buddha, sometimes people think they are very different from each other, and this when Buddha was talking about the Vajrayana teachings, then he was not talking about the emptiness and like Madhyamaka teachings, and then when he was teaching about that, he was not talking about Vajrayana teachings and things like that, but it's kind of there, like for instance when he was teaching only Vinaya teachings, where there was no mention about the Mahayana concepts too much, but he always mentioned Bodhisattva. Buddha was Bodhisattva before he became Buddha, and all sutras say the same thing. He was a Bodhisattva. All the Jataka stories tell about Bodhisattva did this, Bodhisattva did that. It's just that they didn't explicitly elaborate what a Bodhisattva was and whether somebody could become a Bodhisattva and how he or she would become a Bodhisattva and what's the training of the Bodhisattva. And Mahayana teachings, or second and third round of what we call the Buddha's Dharmachakra teachings, are all about that. What is a Bodhisattva and how to train to be a Bodhisattva. And then when he was giving teachings on the Shunyata and all this kind of Paramita teachings, there are lots of mention about Buddha nature. But again, it is not so explained, so much, clearly exposed about what Buddha nature was. But then when the third round of teachings and then Vajrayana is all about that, the explanation of Buddha nature on top of the things that he mentioned before. So I think it is like that.